Hi, it's Marita Conlon-McKenna here, answering your questions for Eason's Asks. And not surprisingly, the first question is about Under the Hawthorn Tree. Under the Hawthorn Tree continues to be one of my favourite books. I read it 19 years ago when I was in third class. At the time, did you ever expect to become such a household name for primary school children and to continue to be so successful to this day? No, I never did. It was a small little book written for my daughter and I never expected what's happened to it. But you know, from the minute children read it, they made it their own and they just love it, and they love Eiley, Michael and Peggy and their story. And every generation, every new class that comes in, they want to read it. So that has totally surprised me in the way it has spread, not just in Ireland but around the world. So I'm very lucky that it's such a special book and has become such a special book over time to so many people. Next question. When writing books from such critical moments in Irish history, for example the famine, what way do you carry out research for these books? Do you feel pressure to have certain information included? Well, I love history and I'm a curiosity box. Whether I was writing or not, I'd always be a curiosity box on history. But I do a huge amount of research. I want to go to the place something happened. I want to go to America. I want to see famine things. I want to see documents. I want to see newspaper articles. I want to see letters. I want to see photographs. I want to see paintings. I want to walk Kilmainham jail. I want to walk the streets of Dublin that were walked during the 1916 Rising. I want to walk the lanes in Skibbereen. I want to see where the workhouse was and where the soup kitchen was. So that is very important to me, to have a tangible thing to look at or touch or feel. So I think that really helps when you're writing, and I do a huge amount of research. I have folders and folders, and even the smallest obscure detail helps when you're writing a book, when you're writing about history. Question about, have I a preference for writing for adults or for children? I just get a good story in my head and I want to write it. And sometimes the story is an adult story, sometimes the story is a children's story, but I absolutely enjoy writing it. So I don't really find a difference. The only big difference is children's books are much shorter than adult books, and adult books take a lot more time. So that's the only difference. I'm a teacher and I know you visited many schools over the years. I wondered if you found out that your audience have changed over the years in terms of engagement with you as an author, and if children now are much more or less inclined to ask questions about your work. Well, I can hand on heart say in 30 years of visiting schools, the minute I step into the school, the children and I begin to chat and there's so many questions, and it has never ever changed. And the only problem is I always tend to stay the amount of time I'm meant to be there because we have too many questions and too many things to say to each other. So no, there's never been a change or any problem with that. Final question. You've achieved so much in your writing career so far. Is there anything that stands out as the moment? Well, the moment is always when you get the first copy of your book and you hold it in your hand. That's a very special moment. But also, Under the Hawthorn Tree won a big book award, a children's book award in America, the International Reading Association, and had to go out and stand in front of thousands of people in Las Vegas to receive the award. So that was a big thing. There's been lots of fantastic moments, like seeing my book staged in a theatre, meeting incredible people, lots of in schools and places like that. But really the big eureka moments are when I've got the idea, you know, when I've heard about 3 skeletons found under a hawthorn tree, when I've seen a painted blue horse at the side of the road, when I've stood in the Stonebreakers yard in Kilmainham jail and thought about the leaders of the Rising being shot, when I've read the diary of a dispensary doctor about this doctor in Skibbereen, Dr. Dan Donovan, who was not only the workhouse doctor but helped to set up the first soup kitchen. So they're the moments that stand out and are really important to me. I hope I've answered all your questions, and my new book, The Hungry Road, is available from Eason's. Thank you.